My dad was a Baptist preacher, and obviously I didn't go that way. But we grew up in little towns. I grew up in Hereford, Texas, in the Panhandle, and then we moved to Portales, New Mexico, which at that time had a population of 13,000. And I remember my mother asked me one time when I was in junior high school if I'd ever thought about what I wanted to be, and I said, yeah, I want to be a doctor. And I guess that's all I'd ever thought about. And so this is what I set out to be, and from that point on, everything I did through high school and college was headed toward that. But I've always done artistic things, drawings and sculpture and wood carving and all that all my life. And when the movie came around, Marilyn was a friend, and she just mentioned to me one day that she was doing this movie, and they needed somebody to do special effects makeup. And I said, well, I can do that. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it or not, except I figured, I've been interested in this sort of thing. And so I bought some books on the subject and just started playing around with it. I made a lot of masks using dental alginate, and it's set up so rapidly that sometimes in order to get enough to cover a face, I'd have to have 2 or 3 people mixing up so we could get it on there before it's set up. And then I would cover it with strips of plaster, and I used plaster like you'd use for a cast. Well, the stuff deteriorated pretty rapidly, so you had to do something with it. And Bob Burns made all the masks. The ones that we were going to use for that purpose I gave to him, and then he did whatever he did for the mask. I actually had somebody make one of my face. I figured if I was going to put everybody through this, I would know what it felt like, because you had to have big pieces of straws in your nose with cotton packed around them and all that. So I guess one of the masks was probably made from my face. And I did when I finally created all this stuff, which took a while. I think I made him up 3 times, and it took 7.5 hours each time to apply the makeup. John was very nice. He didn't really have much to say. He was there, and I don't think he even knew exactly what he was supposed to look like afterwards, except I think he was, I don't know, 18, 19 years old, and they told me they wanted him to look over 100 years old. So we made the mask of his face, and then in order to have something to work on, rather than casting it in something else, I cast it in dental acrylic, which is the same thing that dentures are made of. And then using this, before I painted it, I made another one, and I simply sculpted all the wrinkles on the face. Since I'm a plastic surgeon and do just the opposite in getting rid of wrinkles, this was, I knew where they belonged at least. I first started off putting a wrap around his head to cover his hair, and then a ball cap on, and then applied the pieces of liquid latex to fill out the face. I made molds of his hands, and the hands, of course, get more wrinkled and the veins usually get larger, and so we made that also.
I've been thinking about letting Grandpa have some fun. You always said he's the best.
He's the best, all right.
Just let him have a whack.
I was on the set as much as I could. There were times when I stayed out there for 18 to 20 hours. But I guess I was there most of the time, but he was actually made up in shooting, yeah, because if he needed a patch up, I needed to be there.
Hit her! Hit that bitch!
I got offers. I could have done some more makeup after the movie was over, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but movie making and plastic surgery practice doesn't quite go together. I was happy with it. In fact, I had an exhibit, and that's what these pictures were for. I had an exhibit down in Miami at a National Plastic Surgery meeting of these pictures with a little thing about the movie. And the Wall Street Journal came down there and did a little squib, even a plastic surgeon does the reverse, from what he normally does. And it went over well at the meeting. So yeah, I've got good memories about it.